Welcome to my update of my American history notes. Just things I want to pursue, maybe deeper, maybe make some changes. I'm going to continue or pick up where I left off last time. Now, the Indians and Native Americans also contributed to our understanding of science and medicine. Last time I talked about words that we've taken from the Native Americans. In 1612, through their advice, the Virginian colonists learned to grow and cure tobacco on a large scale and use it as a prime export commodity to England, according to the Timeline Book of Science by George Ochoa and Melinda Corey. Now, in the 1700s, it was noted that the Indian tribes kept wounds clean after clashes with European colonists, and the colonists found this, quote, primitive treatment to be effective in the recovery of their own wounded. The Indians also isolated the wounded for treatment and did not keep them in infirmaries where infection spread and likelihood of death over even a small wound was great. Indian women were known to have used quinine, sassafras, datura, ipecac, cascara, and witch hazel to treat minor sicknesses and wounds. All of these would enter our modern medicinal usage. All through the colonial period here, the relations with Native Americans were sometimes peaceful and sometimes very violent. Different tribes had different ways of handling the European intruder. Some lived peaceably with them, and others were just as duplicitous and conniving as the European. There were those who made alliances with the whites and those who fought them as long as their strength held out. In the end, it was about territory and land. The colonists needed and demanded land that the Indian once hunted and farmed for his own needs, and with each decade, the unfortunate Native Americans were pushed westward while others were annihilated. Others moved forcibly. And finally, those that were left either assimilated into white culture or formed their own small enclaves in the Sea of Colonies. Much of the land deals made with Indians were perfectly legitimate according to European experience. The price was set and it was paid. The Indian chieftains often made bad deals, though, and established poorly thought out alliances. But truthfully, who was going to be in control of North America was often in question. So it's easier in hindsight to say that they should have allied themselves with English colonists rather than any other. At first, the diseases and epidemics decimated the Indian population in spite of their ability with medicine, and then there was simply no way for them to resist the tide of North American colonization. It was inevitable that they would lose control of the land they had once freely roamed, or became inevitable. So I'm going to talk about the charters of New England and to talk about converting Native Americans to Christianity as was required. So we'll stop here. I hope you'll click like and feel free to make comments. If you disagree, just provide a citation so I can study it. Thank you.